Hello and welcome back to the shop. I know it's been quite some time since I posted anything, but there's a good reason for that. And that's because I've been doing a lot of things, not just regular life stuff, but I have moved all my shipping stuff from my air quotes home office to the shop so I can easily package stuff up once it gets completed rather than having to take everything back home. And so I finally took apart my old plasma cutter and used the 8020 from that to make this shipping table. And I just got a piece of wood from Home Depot, coated it with a bazillion coats of polyurethane, and it has worked out great. On top of that, I went nuts trying to figure out how I can easily program 3 brands at one time to work on my 3 vices that I have on the table that you see there. And I made it so you can easily program 1, 2, or 3 at the same time, and with a few button clicks and a few selections, you have finished programs in less than 5 to 10 minutes depending on the complexity of the logo that you're trying to make into a brand. So as you can imagine, that took some time, and I wanted to try and document everything so in case I happen to forget or if I need to go change something, I can easily do that. Over the short amount of time that I've been programming, I've learned quickly that documenting things helps a ton, especially when you need to go back and change something. At some point I will make a video showing the entire process of how I create the 3D model of the brand and get the program for it, and how simple it actually is now, because it's something that I'm extremely proud of because it took me a long time to figure out how to do it, or at least it seemed like a long time. Other than that, over the course of the time that I haven't been posting any YouTube videos, I have been making additional subtle improvements to these branding irons, mainly the depth of the logo that's basically protruded out. Made that a little bit deeper, or actually quite a bit deeper, plus some toolpath improvements. This part here is the clamp insert that I have for my branding iron press. I may have shown it before, but each one basically is different. Anybody can order this thing. It's not just for my branding irons. Anyone that has an electric iron can order this, and basically they just tell me the diameter of the part of the branding iron that they want to hold onto, and then I have these pre-cut blanks, and then I just mill out the hole for their branding iron. So this is the entire process of machining a brand. I line it up with the upper left hand corner of the vise. Whether or not you think that's a good idea or not, it works for what I have right now, and it's fairly repeatable, so I don't have to worry too much about it. And I sincerely hate indicating things, so this is my way of getting around that. And lining up in the vise on the Tormach, which does all the fine engraving and stuff, because I can run it at 10,000 RPM forever and not have to worry too much about it. I line those up with the upper left hand corner of the vise as well, and that gets me around having to indicate those as well. And so far I have machined a lot of these, well, what I would consider a lot, and it hasn't failed me yet, not to my knowledge at least, not horribly at least. Just as long as I select the correct program for the stock piece that I have in the vise at that time, it's not going to fail me. I ran about 45 of these RX7 emblems, and I'll show you those later after they're painted. I apologize for not having any machining footage of those, and I'm not sure why I didn't take any footage, but I apologize for that. And here I'm just making some branding iron stands. I don't sell a whole lot of these, but it's money coming in the door when they do sell, so I just keep making a few at a time and wait until they get sold. Here are the RX7 emblems after they're painted, and these are a pain in the butt to paint. The little X, the outline with the black, is like a stressful situation. I have a little dispensing needle that I use and fill it with paint, and then I can just kind of dispense the paint in there. Anyway, it's extremely stressful, but then after they're cured for like 24 to 48 hours, then I put them in my powder coat oven and cure them 2 more times at 250 degrees for 20 minutes. And that makes that enamel paint extremely hard. As you've seen before, my branding iron press, this is a handle for the press, and I do this with all of them. I machine these down so the whole press operates as it should. If you put it together and tighten everything down as it's made, nothing wants to move, so that's why I machine things down to make sure everything operates as it should. So I get my electric irons, which are just soldering irons, from a US supplier, and they get them from China, but my original supplier ran out, which was a problem, and it's been a problem since to find another supplier that supplies an adequate soldering iron or electric iron that I can use. So I've been all over the place trying to find a good supplier, and I found a few more finally that give me good wholesale prices, and this is just me machining off the soldering iron tip that comes with it, and I don't want to waste anything because these are copper, and if I were to just buy copper and make my own, it would be a lot more expensive, so this way I don't get to waste the piece of copper that already comes with it. So one could argue the benefits of doing that versus not doing it, but I think that's it for now, so thanks for watching.